A taxi driver in Japan just retired his Toyota Crown after 1.4 million kilometers on the original engine. No rebuild, no major repairs. So what are Japanese drivers doing differently? Across Japan, high-mileage drivers follow a disciplined maintenance philosophy refined over decades, and it's proven to push engines beyond 1 million kilometers. Let's start with something most people get completely wrong: cold starts. In the US, drivers are told modern engines don't need warm-up time, just start and go. But Japanese drivers treat a cold engine like a sleeping machine. They start the engine and wait 30 to 60 seconds before moving. No revving, no rushing. Why? Because overnight, most engine oil drains into the pan, so those first moments mean metal parts are running with minimal protection. Then they drive gently for 5 to 10 minutes, keeping RPMs under 3,000 until full temperature. One taxi fleet in Osaka tracked this over 15 years and found engines lasted up to 40% longer just from this one habit. That's a massive difference from a simple routine most people ignore. That's the difference between an engine that lasts 300,000 kilometers and one that goes beyond 500,000 kilometers. Now the oil change philosophy. This is where Japan really stands out. In the US, drivers follow manufacturer intervals or even stretch them to save money. In Japan, it's all about real driving conditions, not mileage. A Tokyo taxi in constant stop-and-go traffic destroys oil much faster than highway driving. So instead of 8,000 to 10,000 kilometers, they change oil every 3,000 to 5,000 kilometers, sometimes every few weeks. Because dirty oil means wear, and wear means engine failure. Fleet operators even found that a few $100s extra per year in oil changes can save thousands in repairs. One Hiroshima taxi ran 1.2 million kilometers on a 1995 Toyota, changing oil every 4,000 kilometers. The engine looked almost new inside. No tricks, just discipline. The next is the rev limiter mentality. Keep your engine in its comfort zone, and it will last longer. Most engines work best between 1,500 to 3,500 revolutions per minute, where combustion is smooth and stress is low. In Japan, drivers stick to this naturally. They accelerate gently, avoid hard braking, and drive in a calm, steady way. It's not just fuel economy, it's engine protection. Hard acceleration and sudden stops create heat spikes and constant cooling cycles, which slowly damage seals, gaskets, and metal parts. A study showed aggressive driving can increase engine wear by up to 65% compared to smooth driving. One trucking company in Japan applied strict smooth driving rules and saw engine life jump from 600,000 kilometers to 850,000 kilometers. Because in the end, it's not just oil that kills engines, it's heat and aggressive driving. Next is the coolant. It helps more than you think. In Japan, cooling systems are treated very seriously. Coolant is flushed every 40,000 kilometers or 2 years. Thermostats are replaced around 80,000 to 100,000 kilometers. Water pumps are checked regularly, and radiator caps are often replaced every 50,000 kilometers. Even the radiator cap matters. If it weakens, pressure drops, coolant boils earlier, and slow overheating starts. Over time, this quietly damages the engine until failure happens. In the 1990s, taxi fleets found about 40% of engine failures came from cooling system neglect. The fuel discipline. Cheap parts causing expensive damage. Same discipline with fuel. Drivers don't let tanks drop below a quarter full to protect the fuel pump and avoid pulling dirt from the tank bottom. They also use fuel system cleaner every 10,000 kilometers. Small habits, big engine life. Use professional fuel system cleaners to prevent carbon buildup and keep injectors clean. In Japan, drivers also avoid letting fuel sit. If cars are idle, they top up the tank and use stabilizer because old fuel degrades and clogs the system. A Honda dealership in Nagoya found strict fuel care cut injector failures by 70% and double fuel pump line. The timing belt. Timing belts are even more serious. Instead of pushing limits like in the West, Japanese drivers replace them early at 70,000 to 80,000 kilometers to avoid catastrophic engine failure. It costs a few $100s, while failure can cost thousands. Plus, it renews the water pump and related parts at the same time. The early replacement program paid for itself within 5 years. In Japan, engine and transmission are treated as one system. Transmission fluid is changed every 40,000 to 50,000 kilometers, not lifetime like many claim. Because when the transmission struggles, the engine suffers too. Higher RPM, harsh shifts, and extra stress. Manual drivers focus on smooth shifting and rev matching, not speed. A study in Sapporo found 500,000 kilometers plus cars all shared one habit: proper engine plus transmission maintenance together. And everything is recorded. Every service, every fluid change, every parts. This keeps discipline tight and prevents missed maintenance. Drivers in Japan carefully track mileage, fuel use, and any unusual behavior after each shift, combined with strict inspections every 2 years and regular voluntary checkups, creating a system where small issues are fixed early instead of being ignored until they become expensive failures, which is why their cars last 500,000 kilometers to over 1 million kilometers. Not because of luck or special cars, but because of consistent maintenance, discipline, and treating vehicles as long-term machines that must be protected every day.